And we're back at the TV showcase here at the Scotiabank Pond, powered by Griff Vision, as we come back inside here. A lot of interesting things are going on this weekend, and one of the things that we were learning about is there's now a lot of tools in the game of hockey, and certainly things that help players, coaches, and scouts alike. And so one of those options that a lot of teams are now finding is RosterPoint. And I'm pleased to be joined now by Bryan Brant from RosterPoint. Bryan, thanks so much for joining us. So basically, can you give us a little explanation of what RosterPoint is and what it does for players?
Yeah, sure. RosterPoint is an online recruiting website. So players have the ability to put a profile outlining all of their pertinent hockey data. They can include up to 3 different videos of their actual play. It has online messaging, or instant messaging, I should say. So if teams are looking for a specific player, they can get very specific, almost right down to the hair color of a player that they're looking for. And the system will automatically match teams with players based on certain criteria. Teams can also just browse looking for players. The advantage for the player really is exposure. That's what we're giving players the opportunity to do, is to promote themselves, promote their hockey career, and hopefully a junior team or a higher level team will catch their profile and they can move on from there.
So where did the need, or where did the idea for this kind of come from?
Well, it's interesting because last year I was working for a junior club and as a general manager, and I was responsible for recruiting. And it was very difficult. Number one, it was a pay-to-play league, so it's difficult to find talent and the ability to pay. And I thought, there's got to be a better way to do this, to try and bring players the opportunities and bring the teams the opportunities and the players. So kind of came up with the concept just from there, wrote on a lot of napkins, and brought it to a developer, and now we've been developing now for 5 months, and we're ready to go live in 6 days.
So what's the expectation then, I would say, from your perspective of what this might bring to players? And are you expecting this to kind of be off the hop? Maybe take some time to develop? What's your outlook?
It's difficult to say right now. We have a number of players pre-registered already. We just have a splash page up on the internet, but the live site, no one's really seen it yet. So we have some screenshots at our booth right now that'll show how a player puts a profile on, what the profile actually looks like, how teams actually go about searching. The goal would be to have a database full of hockey teams and hockey players. We have preloaded 10,000 teams from Canada and the US already, just to make it easy for teams to log on and to create their profile easier. It's like the chicken and the egg thing here. Without the players, you're not going to get the teams, and without teams, you're not going to get the players. So, we thought we'd kick off the teams and make things a little bit easier there. And events like this really help with players. Once they hear the word promotion or recruiting, they're excited. That's what they're here for, is to get looked at. And if we can help them by bringing more and more teams to see their profile, then that's really the goal.
So where can a player go if they're interested for the more information right now, or once the site's live, where can they go to get that kind of information, or maybe put up a profile?
Well, it's easy right now. You can pre-register at RosterPoint.com. And once we go live in 6 days, they'll get an email and basically just saying, you're ready to put your profile on. Or they can wait until July 1st and they can log on. It takes about 10 minutes to fill out the profile. Again, when you're thinking about a matching site, you think of Match.com or something like that. And I think Harmony.ca is the one that asks you so many questions, but that's what gets the results. So the more you put into the profile, the more you're going to get out of it. Just like anything, just like your play. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out of it.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck with the launch on July 1st. Make sure you look out for RosterPoint coming soon near you, and maybe you can find your match as well. Thanks so much for joining us, Bryan. We'll see you around the rinks.
Thanks.
We'll be back just after the short break. We're going to wrap things up here from day number 1 at the TP Showcase Tournament. We are going to be talking a lot now about the top prospects game that is tomorrow night at 8 o'clock here on rink number 1. So we'll be right back with Andre, Jeff, and Alex right after this.
It's just a good opportunity for guys to be able to show off their talent to coaches and GMs around our league and to